Hello and welcome to this Friday video where it's actually a re-upload from a video that I posted on my old Yu-Gi-Oh channel. You see, I made this video when I was struggling to think of content for this channel before it died, and I decided to actually upload it on here and see how it will do on here. So it's very old, even though it was actually made last year, and this video was actually the main reason why I started up this movie review channel, because I loved working on that video. So the mic quality for the non-on-camera segments is bad compared to the mic that I have now. So I'm just giving you guys that bits of heads up on that. But I do hope that you enjoy this video. So thank you all for watching and enjoy. And welcome back to the channel. My name is YJO Mike, but you can call me Michael. If you were to ask me which Yu-Gi-Oh anime I would say is the best of the best, I'd have to say it's GX. So in today's video, I'm basically going to be going over why I love Yu-Gi-Oh GX. And when talking about the specific characters, I will be both using dubbed and sub names, as well as I'm only going to be covering seasons 1 to 3. So I might do a season 4 video depending on how well this video does. So without further ado, let's dive straight into Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Get your game on. So Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is the sequel series to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, which was released back in 2004, which means the series is 17 years old. Fuck, I'm old. Anyway, let's not dwell on the fact that I'm 23 and already feel as ancient as an ancient gear golem. The GX series, or Generation Next, takes place at a school to teach you how to play a card game better. And boy did I need that in the GOAT format days, as I sucked really bad as Chun-Li's win rate. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. The show's premise at the start is a slice of life duel of the week type of thing for the first half of the series, with a colourful cast of one-off characters, and in season 2 some make a cameo for a blink and you miss it moment. Then halfway through season 1 is when shit hits the fan, and that's when the show gets good. So my history with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is still kind of a blur to me. I can't remember how I found out about it, be it through one of the Nicktoon channels or Sky One or RTE, as those were the prominent channels that any Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series would air on. But I do remember watching just random episodes back in either 2005, 2006, or 2007. I can't remember which. But then I do remember seeing it being advertised on Nicktoons during one of those years, and that's essentially how I got into watching GX. But I definitely did miss a few episodes because back in the day, fuck, I'm old, the old Skyboxes, which was our cable, wasn't able to record anything, so I definitely missed a lot of episodes when I was younger. Until much later on when it became available on YouTube for free. So I'm basically skipping half of season 1. As I said, the first half is filler until the Shadow Riders show up. One thing I did forget to mention is that a plot point in early GX does show up again, that being Alexis's lost brother, who does show up in the latter half of the show, the same as a villain of the week shows back up as a Shadow Rider. The storyline for the second half of season 1 is the Shadow Riders, 7 in total, are charged with fighting the Chosen Seven by the Principal, who holds 7 gate keys, which were used to lock away the sacred beasts, which are basically Wish.com god cards. And in the end, it's up to main protag Jurayuki to save the school and the day. One thing that I do love about GX is how it handles the passing of the torch. Twice it happens in the first season. The first time it happens is in episode 1, when Judai is late for the entrance exam. He accidentally bumps into a much older Yugi. Yugi makes a comment about Judai being a duelist and then hands him the Wing Karibo card, and thus passes the torch to Judai. The other passing of the torch moment happens at the end of Season 1, when Zane Truesdale, the best duelist at the school other than Judai, challenges Judai to his graduation match. In the first part of the duel, when the duel starts, Judai is nervous, as to this point Zane is the only person to have beaten Judai, and this is his biggest duel of the school year. So instead of dueling like his normal self, he ends up trying to mimic Zane to little success, and it's not till the second part when things get kicked up to 11 and then the passing of the torch is complete, with Zane now gone from the school and the best duelist being Judai Yuki. So yeah, season 2 is kind of where the stakes get bigger for the series, and it's not just half filler and half story. It's all about the story. The entire second season is just nothing but story. So what happens in season 2? Well, the big villain is kind of an evil fortune teller, and he kind of starts a cult in one of the dormitories. And the main goal of Sayo, the main villain of the arc, is he wants to convert Judai into the Society of Light, simply because Judai has the ability to contact dual monster spirits, and Sayo wants to basically take advantage of that. And kind of like with year 1, year 2, it's all up to Judai to save the world, to stop the light of destruction. The one key change with season 2 is that Judai gets a deck upgrade, which I will now go over in a separate section. So GX dealt with losing in both season 1 and season 2. It was a plot point early in both season 1 and season 2 with different characters, Chaz and Judai. Both were handled somewhat similar in the beginning, but ended in two different ways. With Chaz, it was handled with him feeling like a failure. He was supposed to be the best. It was up to him to be the next king of games, as both his brothers were successful in different fields. The brothers put a lot of pressure on Chaz to be the best to take over the world in their respective fields. When Chaz got to Duel Academy, he didn't win a single duel on screen. So he decided to leave in a boat, but ended up in North Academy and became the top student there to represent the academy. His opponent was once again Judai Yuki. How GX dealt with Judai losing was, as I said, pretty much almost the exact same way as Chaz. Judai was on a winning high, so to speak, with his only real equal having left the year before. Then enter pro duelist Edo Phoenix, who, after challenging him to a duel which he was destined to win, he fought Judai hero on hero, at first both using elemental heroes, until something snapped in Edo and he brought out his destiny heroes and beat Judai easily. As a result of Judai losing and not joining the Society of Light, Judai instead lost the ability to see his cards. So like Chaz, he left by boat, but was then transported to Neospace, and through a duel he managed to regain the ability to see his cards. Both Chaz and Judai, after their bit of exile, returned with a much more powerful version of their decks. So why do I bring this up? Well, because to my knowledge of only seeing the original series, GX, and Arc 5, Yu-Gi-Oh! Hasn't really shown the depressing side of losing a game. I know they sort of touched on it when Yugi lost in Season 4, but that's filler, so I don't count that. With Judai and Chaz, they show the same way when they lose badly, that they feel that they don't belong in Duel Academy, and that feels very real. I've often felt like that when I've failed at something and wanted to quit. So it's nice to see how GX covers much more serious topics than the original series. Oh boy, Season 3. I've been really looking forward to covering this because this is when the show really got dark. And when I say dark, I really mean dark. So like I've been doing for most of this video, I haven't really gone into any spoilers for this 17-year-old anime. Fuck, I'm old. The main reason why I haven't gone into any spoilery territory is just in case you're that one person who hasn't seen an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and kind of wants to go take a look at it. And though there are people like that, so that's why I haven't touched a single spoiler. So time to try and explain this without going into any spoilers. This is the best that I can come up. So one of the cards that Judai used to have as a kid comes back. And it comes back with a massive, massive, massive hate boner for Judai. So massive that that they really want to get kinky with Judai. Yeah, not joking. And to do this, Yubel basically just wants to hurt him, to torture him. And does so in two different dimensions. One of which where if you lose the duel, you lose your soul. No, that's not right. You lose the duel, you lose your life. That's the one. So, once again, stakes are real. Stakes are big. And once again, it's up to Judai to save everyone. Like it has been for the past 2 years. Ah, fuck it. What's the third year gonna hurt? Spoiler alert, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Okay, so in order to talk about this, I will have to go into spoilers, so skip to this time code, unless I forgot to add it in during editing, then flame me in the comments for forgetting. So, GX handles depression really well in the second half of Season 3, because when they were leaving one of the two dimensions, Judai's new best friend, Johan, was dueling Yubel. Johan did a self-sacrifice in order to save everyone. This made Judai depressed, because he blamed himself for Johan going MIA, so he decides to travel to another dimension, different to the one that they were just at, to save him. And in the process, he accidentally ends up killing almost all of his friends. Yeah, during a duel with Braun, Mad King of Dark World, he ended up killing most of his friends trying to find Johan. Which, again, because Judai was already feeling depressed, the loss of his friends made him feel worse, and in turn became the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro tag to become evil. Unfortunately not for long, as it was resolved in a few episodes. But the Supreme King arc is by far the best arc of Season 3. Anyway, after killing a whole bunch of people as the Supreme King and being rescued in the end, Judai feels even worse than he ever thought possible. At this point, because all Judai ever cared for is having fun while dueling. But as we've seen throughout the 3 years, he's had to see his friends suffer. The world almost ending 3 times, and a few people die as a result of dueling, and himself murdering people through dueling. So, Judai swears he'll never duel again, but ultimately he does in order to save everyone one last time. The way the show shows how much Judai has suffered is when finally seeing Johan, who has now been taken over by Yubel, during the Yubel versus Sane duel, he wanders off because he can't stand the sight of dueling after what he did, but is then forced to duel or be killed himself. And in this duel, Judai just wants to end the duel as soon as possible, so in turn killing another person. In Season 4, we see that even after everything, Judai still is somewhat depressed, as in every duel bar the end, he wants to finish it as soon as it's possible. He no longer enjoys dueling. He has essentially lost the love of something he has loved since a kid. He does find it again, but that's a different video. GX is the first show to show PTSD and depression in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! So now it's time to say why I love GX so much, now that I went into much more than I intended, as this is about to go on to the 7th page. So, why I love this show so much is a lot of things. The story, the characters, everything. When I was younger, it was because I loved the character of Judai and his friends, as well as the story, but I was too young to understand the full story. Oh, and the elemental heroes. That too. That was another reason why I loved the show when I was a kid. But as an adult, I can look at the deeper messages and the real story of GX and love it even more as someone who suffers from depression and was forced to grow up quicker than normal, which is something I didn't touch on as that has to do with Season 4. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is my comfort show. It's something I can go back to and pick a random episode and enjoy, both subbed and dubbed. Which is better? Who cares? The show is still amazing no matter what language you watch it in. So there you guys go. An in-depth review, sort of why I love the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime. Hopefully it turns out alright going from head to page to this. And I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I have with writing and editing it. It's definitely my biggest project yet. And if you would like to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, you can definitely watch the first 3 seasons on YouTube for free or on whichever anime streaming service you prefer. So just want to say thank you all for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed. And if you enjoy watching this Yu-Gi-Oh! Type of content and you want to see more, do subscribe. There won't be any videos coming out for the rest of this year, except for one on Christmas Day, hopefully, as long as I don't back out of the idea. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you on Christmas Day for that video, if that still goes ahead. Whoa.